Hello, I am Sharad Shukla. Today we are intend to discuss a very important topic from the ICSC metallurgy chapter, that is the extraction of aluminium under the Bayer's process from its G4 bauxite. So after the mining of the bauxite, it has the impurities. The major impurities in the bauxites are oxides of iron and silicon and etc. These oxides might be ferrous oxide or the ferric oxide. So our first aim is to convert, if any ferrous oxide there, then we will convert it into the ferric oxide under the oxidation by roasting, obviously. Then what will we do? We will mix the amount of sodium hydroxide and maintain the temperature 150 degree about. So what happens, the bauxite combines and react to give you sodium meta-aluminate and water. So any impurities of the ferric oxide remains undissolved. In that way, you see, you have mixed the sodium hydroxide and you got prepared sodium meta-aluminate, and the impurities in the form of ferric oxide, that is also called red mud, remains undissolved, that can easily be filtered and separated. So this sodium meta-aluminate is again mixed with water. See, in this process either you may get sodium meta-aluminate or you may also get sodium meta-silicate, because silicon will also present, in the form of impurity. No matters. In this process we also mix a little amount of already prepared aluminum hydroxide, but that is not significant to discuss in the chemical equation. So what happens is sodium meta-aluminate under the reaction with, when it is diluted with the water, then it gives you sodium hydroxide and aluminium hydroxide, AlOH whole thrice. All right, so let's balance the equation. I suppose this is let's count the hydrogen. 4 hydrogen, we'll have 2 H2O. All right, so this aluminium hydroxide is again separated as it is precipitated out, leaving the sodium silicate and all. In the solution you got the aluminium hydroxide precipitated out. Then this is again heated at a high temperature, about 1200 degrees Celsius. So it is supposed to give you again Al2O3 and water is released. This is called alumina. So in this process, from here to here, we got alumina from the bauxite. We have converted bauxite to the alumina, removing the impurities of silicon and the ferric oxide. All right. So our next aim is to convert alumina to aluminium. That means we are going to get aluminium from the alumina, and the process is known as Hall-Heroult process. This is under the Bayer's process. So we take a tank, and in this tank, this is shown a carbon gas lining. It is a conductor, obviously, and it is connected to the negative terminal. Keep remember, this is cathode. Negative terminal is cathode, and these are the graphite rods. Graphite, and these are connected with the positive terminal, that is anode, obviously. And this electrolyte that we have taken is Al2O3, that is alumina, with cryolite. Cryolite is a compound. The formula for the cryolite is Na3Al(F6), and we have taken fluorspar. This is called cryolite, this is called fluorspar. The ratio must be 1:3:1. This is in the major amount, so this is solvent, obviously. This has been taken as a solvent, and this is also supposed to decrease the melting point of the alumina, making it easier to get melted in the molten state, and increasing the conductivity, fluorspar and the sodium cryolite. All right. So what happens is, this is the cathode and these are graphite anodes. So if you see alumina, it is a under the electrolytic dissociation in the ions. It will produce ions like it will give you Al triple plus and O double minus. Let's balance it. These will also dissociate in the ions. This will produce Na plus ions, Al triple plus ions, and F minus ions, and Ca double plus ion, F minus ion. But if you see the reactivity series that already discussed in the electrolysis chapter, you will get to know we need to show the reaction only for the Al triple plus ion and O double minus ion. That has already been discussed in the electrolysis you must will be aware of. All right. So what is happening at cathode? Cations are supposed to move towards cathode because these are the electron deficient. They are supposed to move towards the negative charge. So what happens at cathode? This Al triple plus will move there, and being electron deficient system, it has a tendency to gain the electron. At the negative terminal, it will gain the electron. It will give you aluminium. What happens at anode? Anions are supposed to move towards anode. O double minus is the anion, obviously, and anode is a positively charged, so there it is supposed to lose the electron. Being an anion, minus double minus charge to electron, it will be losing under the oxidation. O does not make any sense, so we'll write O2 and we will make it 4 electrons. So this is the oxidation. Keep remember, at anode always oxidation, at cathode this is the gain of electron, always reduction. This you need to keep remember. And one more thing, these are the anode rods of the graphite. These are obviously of carbon. They will surely be combined with the oxygen to produce either CO2, or they can also produce you carbon monoxide. So in that process, what happens is these graphite rods get oxidized in the form of CO and CO2. So these graphite rods needs to be changed again and again. There are few information in this process you need to keep remember from the point of view of board exam questions. Like in this process, at the bottom we have connected the cathode, so aluminium is supposed to get collected at the bottom. So we have an outlet, we will collect the aluminium over here. So in this process we need to heat the mixture also, and heat might be lost through radiation. So what we do, we sprinkle the coke over here to protect the heat loss. So why do we sprinkle coke? This is the question from the ICSE. We sprinkle coke over here to protect the heat loss because we need to continuously heat the solution so that it is in the molten form and all. Second information is what is the need of mixing Na3AlF6 and CaF2. So firstly, it is providing it a solvent, and secondly, it is making the process easier by increasing the conductivity and decreasing the melting point of the alumina. Second thing is always the metal will be obtained at the cathode. Cathode is connected at the bottom. It is a carbon gas lining. Why do we need to change the anode rod again and again? Because anode is undergoing oxidation. Oxygen is produced at the anode, and carbon rods are getting oxidized. Second thing, if there are multiple ions, like this will also dissociate to give you Na plus, Al triple plus, and F minus, and this will also give you Cl plus and this. So why do we always show the reactions for aluminium? So you need to keep remember, according to the reactivity series, aluminium has greater tendency to get reduced, right? It is below in the reactivity series, so has greater tendency to accept the electron. So though all the ions will migrate towards the cathode connected over here, but the only aluminium has tendency to deposit it first. So in this process you get the aluminium that is 99% pure, but we need more pure aluminium because it contains some impurities, and it is an alloy. Obviously 1% impurities are there, so 1% impurities are removed under the Hoops process for the electrolysis that we will discuss later on. That is all for this video. I hope I made it clear. Thank you.